Well, hello, my heathens. Welcome back to the channel. What do we have here today? Why, yes, it is another illustration video. These illustration videos are my favorite, and yet they are my least uploaded videos. They also happen to be my least popular videos. Everybody on here generally tends to be more into my color and chat videos, whereas over on Instagram, people seem to prefer my illustration more. It's just one of those things. But illustration is what I do. So illustration videos are my favorite. No offense to my colorists. I appreciate everyone. And having said that, this video is dedicated especially to my patrons. Over on my Patreon, I have patrons who are interested in my coloring, patrons who are interested in my illustration, and patrons who are interested in a little bit of everything. So thank you all very much from the bottom of my little black sequined heart, and I mean that sincerely, and I dedicate this video to you because, well, you already know why. If you're on my Patreon, this video would not have happened without all of you. And for those of you who are not on my Patreon, let me explain what your eyes are peeping on the screen. So I tend to live one of those typical cliche hermity type of artist existences. I live in my bubble where I cook up my own ideas, I illustrate all day, and I get very little input from the outside world. But outside input keeps me on my toes, it keeps me fresh. So over on Patreon, I thought, wouldn't it be fun if I had my patrons give me some ideas for illustrations? Because not only will it give me something fun to work on, but will also allow us to keep things a little bit more interactive. It'll give my patrons something fun to look forward to, and it will also give me some good content for those of you who are following me over here on YouTube. So it's a win-win for everyone, at least in my humble opinion. So what I did over on my Patreon page is I asked everyone to leave me in the comments of a post either a color, an article of clothing, or a food item. That's it. I just wanted a single word, not a combination. It was just one. You pick one of those categories and you leave me a word down in the comments. And then I took everybody's words and their names and I put them into, if you watched a previous vlog, this might be coming back to you because I did this in the vlog. I did the drawing in a vlog where I pulled the names out of a bowl, and then those three words are what I based this illustration on. So the lovely patrons who helped with this are, her name is Jacqueline, but I don't know what, girl, I don't know if you watch my YouTube videos, but if you do, my brain wants me to pronounce your name Jacqueline. I know that's not how you pronounce it. I know we are not in France. I get it. I know. But for some reason, so please, unless it bothers you, I'm going to continue referring to you as Jacqueline. I don't know why. That's my brain. Anyway, Jacqueline, her word was a halter top. Then there was Marie, who left me banana, and then Umberto, who is obsessed with green. Oh my god, this is not the shade of green he's obsessed with, I know, but it's green, okay? It's green. He requested green. So Jacqueline was a halter top, Marie was a banana, Umberto was green. And the interesting thing about these selections is that halter tops happen to be, at least personally in my personal wardrobe, my least favorite article of clothing. I don't own a single halter top because I just don't like them. They do not suit my body type, but I love them on other people. But anyway, it just, you guys know I love fashion, and it was just funny that I got my least favorite article of clothing. But that's okay, because like I said, I enjoy it on other people, and I love a challenge. So we got the halter top and then bananas. Bananas, I love bananas, but only when they are just barely starting to turn yellow. I like my bananas with a little bit of green. I don't like banana flavored anything else. I'm not a banana fan. So that was interesting. Now green I do like. Green is a color that I do enjoy. So there was a win-win there. So the words that I chose, halter top, banana, and the color green, I put those into my brain, spun them around, and as they dribbled on down through my percolator, I came up with a vaguely jungle-themed little sass kitten on a banana phone. My whole thinking behind this was, here's the thing. I go for walks frequently, daily, and I generally am wearing earbuds. Nevertheless, even if I'm wearing earbuds, people still are rude and think it's okay to bother me while I'm trying to enjoy my music, my walk with my dog, even though I'm wearing earbuds. I think it's incredibly rude to interrupt people when they're on the phone, when they have their headphones on, when they're reading, or when they have earbuds in their ears. I just think it's the rudest thing. So this little girl is this little girl, she's a woman, clearly. But this little lady is my interpretation of don't bother me, I'm on the phone. No, it's a telephone. It's not a banana. Okay, it's a phone. Leave me alone. So that's the whole purpose behind this little sassy pants here. And I used, is she using paint? Yes, I am. I love paint. I've said it before that the only reason that I've stopped painting is because when I moved out to the desert, I painted in acrylic to begin with. The acrylics could not withstand the incredibly dry climate out here, and it certainly took its toll on my paint supply, and it decimated 2/3 of my paint supply. So I had to throw away so much paint, and it pained me to do so. And so I said, I'm going to hang on to the tubes that managed to survive, but I'm going to switch to another medium. And so I wanted to switch to gouache because gouache gives me the feeling of a matte finish acrylic paint while being able to retain its workability like a watercolor. But for whatever reason, I thought, no, I want something as close to an acrylic as possible. So I went with an acrylic gouache. Now the problem with acrylic gouache is that unlike standard gouache, which you are able to reopen, rework with the addition of mediums or water as you can with watercolors, acrylic gouache is a gouache pigment that is suspended in a non-water soluble binder, which means that this gouache, while the texture is the same as a typical gouache in that it dries in a matte finish, well, you are not able to re-wet it and to continue to rework, which is not a problem because I like acrylic. However, that means that it is not impervious to the elements. So it does end up drying out on me, and I did have to throw away a couple of the gouache tubes that I purchased a few years ago, which is unfortunate because gouache is ungodly expensive, and I personally do not like the cheap gouache. I have given cheap gouaches a try several times, several different brands, but I will say that where inexpensive acrylic paints, you can get away with certain brands. I adore high-end acrylic paints, but my absolute favorite acrylic paint of all time, you're gonna die. My favorites are the Martha Stewart craft paint. Now, my Michaels here out in the middle of nowhere where I live no longer carries them. I have yet to go to another craft store elsewhere that still carries those paints. So I don't know if they are still available elsewhere. I will have to look into it because those craft paints are my favorites. They are about $3 a piece for a little bottle, and they are fantastic. If you are on a budget and those paints still exist, pick up the Martha Stewart craft paints. They are wonderful. So back to the gouache. I love gouache, but unlike the craft paint that I just mentioned, with gouache, you absolutely get what you pay for. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There are 1,000,001 cheap brands of gouache out there. One of the most popular, the one that was shoved down everybody's throats on YouTube for the, it's still being shoved down people's throats, I believe, is the it's Hime or Hime. I have no idea. It's Hime, I believe. Everybody's purchasing it because it's so many containers of jelly gouache for such an inexpensive price. But you guys, you get what you pay for. The pigment load is crap. Now, if you are a casual crafter, go get it, use it, paint your brains out. But if you are looking to take your gouache painting a little bit more seriously, I would recommend that you think quantity, or rather think quality over quantity when it comes to gouache. So I would narrow down your favorite 3 to 5 colors and spend your budget on those 5 colors as opposed to spending a nominal amount for 10,000 tubes. Know what I mean? Just Stick with a limited color palette, buy the good stuff, you will not regret it. Now, the acrylic gouache that I used for this illustration is by the brand Holbein. Holbein is my favorite brand of gouache. It is not the be-all, end-all of gouaches. That just happens to be my favorite. Winsor & Newton makes a great one as well. I personally, if somebody was going to, I like the Winsor & Newton equally? I think I do. I think the Winsor & Newton is a wonderful, beautiful gouache paint as well, but there's just something about the Holbein. I don't know if it's just me being an idiot and preferring it because of the aesthetics of the tube. I don't know. But the Holbein, I like the consistency. I like the tube. I just like the Holbein. I also prefer the caps on the tubes. Perhaps that's why. I still have a problem with the paint drying, but that's my fault for not using them enough, right? So I only have myself to blame. That is not the fault of the paint at all. Holbein acrylic gouache. What else did I use? I used a brush pen. Which brand? I don't remember the brand, but the Micron, well, clearly, I'm staring at the screen while I'm doing my voiceover, so I think I went ahead and I used the Micron brush pen and then also a technical pen. I have been saying this since the day I purchased these blue technical pens. I hate them. They have been discontinued, so please do not ask me where I purchased them because I would not wish these on my worst enemy. They are the worst technical pen I have ever used. They dry out very quickly. The nibs go flat very quickly. They are terrible. I purchased them in bulk years ago because I thought I was getting a good deal, and I had used a plethora of inking pens from the more expensive Copics to the middle range Microns down to the inexpensive Le Pen brush pens and the Le Pen technical pens. All were great. So then when Zig came out with pens, I thought, you know what? Every other waterproof technical pen that I've used, I've had great experience with, so I'm just going to splurge, sight unseen, never having tested them. I'm going to purchase a few bulk boxes of them, and I'll be happy. Well, no, honey, that wasn't the case, but I'm an artist living on an artist's budget, so I'm not going to throw things away. I'm not going to donate them. I'm going to use them up, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. So do not seek these out. Do not ask me where I got them. Do not ask me where you can find them because you will hate me if you use them, I promise. So I will always recommend to you the Microns or any other brand except for these. Don't use these. Plus they're blue. I don't like blue. Ugh. But the key here is just to use a waterproof inking pen. So if you're going to be inking on top of watercolor or over gouache, use anything that is waterproof. Now that is assuming that you don't want the black lines to bleed. If you do want a grungier look, by all means go with a non-waterproof ink. That way your ink will bleed and you will get that runny, grungy, dirty, muddy kind of a look to it. That's just not what I'm going for, so I don't use non-waterproof when I can help it. I also used my tried and true beloved Pentel Sparkle Pop for gold accents, and I used a white Posca pen for highlights. So I will go over the supplies one more time, and as always I will have those links down below. And as always, I will say that these supplies, none of these are exclusive to Amazon. My links will be Amazon links, but you can find these at most online art supply retailers. You can find them in brick and mortar stores. Shop wherever you'd like to. You do not need to use my links. These are not, again, I will say it, these are not Amazon exclusive products. But if you like to shop on Amazon, by all means, use my links. I also used my beloved, who's my favorite pen, my favorite black pen, the black glaze pen. If you've been here for any stretch, you know my black glaze pen and I, we have been in a long-term torrid relationship. Ever since I discovered those pens, it was love at first sight. I love them. They are fantastic. So let me go ahead and restate the supplies one more time. Holbein acrylic gouache, waterproof inking pens, Pentel Sparkle Pop in golds, and Jelly Roll glaze in black. Did I say a white Posca pen as well? My brain. that's going to do it for this video. Thank you everyone so much for watching. My only regret I will say about this is that I used one of my favorite gouache colors, which is the neon pink, and unfortunately that pink does not translate well on camera, nor does it translate well in a scan. So if I insert any images of this piece, every time I use that color on every piece that I use, it pains me when I share images because that brilliant hot pink is lost in translation. But c'est la vie. I'm going to continue to use it. I'm going to continue torturing myself. When you love something, you just love something, right? So if anybody would like to purchase this piece, she will be for sale, and you will be able to see the bright pink in person if you purchase this piece. I am undecided yet whether or not I will have prints available of this one. I may wait a little while until I have a few Patreon mashup illustrations under my belt, and then seeing them all together, maybe I will start offering prints. I don't know, but this piece will be for sale by the time this video is up, so take a look down below. You will find the link to my Etsy shop. You will also find links to everywhere that you can find me online, my Instagram, my Patreon, all of that deliciousness. The one link that I would recommend that you keep in mind is my website, which is my website. On my website, you can find links, of course, to everything, so that's the only one you have to remember. But take a look down below, art supplies, social links, my website, shop link, everything you need to know will be down below. I hope that you guys enjoyed this illustration. Let me know what you think. Is this a fun new series? Whether you are a patron or not, that doesn't matter. Let me know your thoughts down below, because as I said, my patrons helped create this, but this video is up for the viewing pleasure of everyone, whether you are a patron or not. So let me know what you think of this video. Big, fat, wet, sloppy kisses go out to my patrons, of course, for making this illustration possible. It was fun getting your words and turning them into this funky little illustration. I was sitting there working on it, thinking of you guys, and I appreciate your being willing to play with me and to help me dream up these ideas. So thank you all once again. Your names, of course, will be at the end of this video. I am now putting your names at the end of all of my art-related videos. So thank you guys. And that is going to do it for this video. I hope that you enjoy the rest of it. Get out of here. Go do something fun today. Be bad. Be good. I do not give a damn what you do with yourself. Just make sure that you come back in one piece. One piece. Not several, just one. Not two large chunks. Just come back in one piece. Try your best. I will see you in the next one.